We're back with football, and it's an early preview of the group that has France, Senegal, Norway, and about 3 guys there that are not sure whether they're going to the World Cup. But we need to do the France and Senegal preview in the World Cup of 2026. It's Mustafa Jinodu. My name is Afolabi Olaluku. We have Warifa Marcos here. Welcome to another football show.
All right, I call this the Francophone derby. Most of the guys who play for France are Francophone. This French team looks deadly. You've got Koundé, you've got Saliba, you've got Konate, you've got Hernandez, you've got TchouamanI, Camavinga, Dembele, Olise, and Mbappe third. They have bigger names than Senegal. The biggest name on Senegal that we can say is Jackson and Mane. Aside from that, I think where this game is going to be won is in the midfield. We know that France has better, is going to stretch. They're going to overload. They're going to use their wingers. And we know that Senegal like to play a possession ball, but they have a more compact, balanced team where they don't over-rely on their wingers, but they also don't over-rely or playing centrally. They're flexible. But I think where we need to see the battle, this is where the battle is going to be, is the battle of CDMs. TchouamanI and Camavinga versus, what's his name? Gueye and Kamara.
And Lamine Kamara.
I think Gueye and Kamara are more physical, but Camavinga and TchouamanI are more technical. That's going to be an interesting matchup as CDMs. We're not going to talk about the result of the game, but that CDM matchup is very interesting. But also, we have to remember that this guy can invert into the drop deep into the center, into the midfield too, to give help. Manu, what do you think about that matchup?
Yeah, it's a very interesting one. And like you said, TchouamanI, Camavinga, and Adrien Rabiot, who is also a midfielder for France, is a very, very technical setup. They are going to play against a very physical, and I dare say even Gueye and Lamine Kamara are no slouch when it comes to technical play. But physicality, they are going to give you. And Lamine Kamara is just 23. He has the athleticism as well. So it's going to be interesting. The chemistry of the midfield is what will decide this game. Because most Francophone countries, even as well as France themselves, the battle is always won and lost in the midfield. And I think whoever wins the battle would win the game at the end of the day. Because if you look at this, one of the problems I think France has is who will be their best starting 11. They have a lot of talented players across Europe. But Didier Deschamps, their coach, how is he going to sit down and find out the best team that will play the Senegal team, the African champions?
Especially their forwards.
Yes, especially their forwards. So if you look at the forward line, they have Michael Olise of Bayern Munich. They have Dembele of PSG.
Mbappe.
And they have Mbappe of Real Madrid. But if you look at the number 9 position, apart from the guy that plays for Crystal Palace, Jean-Philippe Mateta, they don't have an out-and-out striker like someone like Harry Kane. But they're
or like who they had before, that white guy. What was the name of the guy they had before?
Olivier Giroud.
Giroud. They don't have a Giroud.
They don't have a Giroud now. So they're going to somehow be playing with a kind of setup that
allows a false
9 to flourish. A setup.
Griezmann is I don't know if he's going to be on the team, but Griezmann is more of a winger or attacking midfielder. He's a winger, but how has he been playing lately? Griezmann.
Griezmann.
Griezmann announced retirement. I don't know if he has gone back.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, we know on paper people will say these guys will win, but I have a problem that I think Senegal is going to be more physical, and these guys are going to try to spread out and use their wings. But I believe Senegal will actually have more possession in this game, and they're going to bully in the midfield. But at the same time, it's sort of like a mismatch in midfield. You've got a physical midfield and a technical one. Guys like Olise is good, but he's not that great at drifting. So what's going to be the test will be the test of Senegal's flanks and their central defense, which is very good. So I'm going to say, because of their flair, because of Mbappe, I think these guys can win 2-1 France, but it's going to be close. And then the X factor is Mane. Mane is playing at a high level now, and he's going to be doing a lot of work. I think Senegal is actually going to have a higher work rate than France. France is going to be more dazzling, but I see, especially with the only weakness I see is in midfield, this guy needs to be careful. Sarr makes a lot of errors. What do you think, Falabi?
Yeah, I agree with you. Sarr has to be very careful. This is the World Cup. A lot of the hard tackles that we saw in AFCON, the World Cup referees are not going to be as lenient.
No.
So they have to caution themselves. And like you rightly mentioned, Sadio Mane, I'd see this as his last World Cup. So he's going to put all his heart and mind into this one. So expect a really fired up Sadio Mane. And he's an X factor for Senegal, whether you like it or not. He has played at the very highest level for Liverpool, even in the Champions League. So it won't be easy for France to continue him.
No, these are the guys that beat England 3-0, Senegal.
Yes, they beat England 3-0. And if you watch that game, that was the game that really announced Lamine Camara. He took Declan Rice out of that game. It was exceptional in that game.
So I think that's where this is going to be a low-scoring game, or France might win through a moment of brilliance, but they're going to have to work hard to score. They're going to have. We've seen that even France struggled against Spain in the last championship. And Spain is not even that physical a team. So once again, I'll say 2-1 to France just because of their brilliance of so many players. But don't sleep on Senegal. That's all I can say. This game could very well be a draw, actually, because we know that Senegal is well coached. They can play tactically and keep the ball away. What are your thoughts, Mr. Warif?
Yeah, this game is going to be an interesting game. The reason why I said so, because if you watch most of the French players, they are Africans by origin. So it's going to be like the back home, what is it called? Africans versus the foreign Africans. Now, you know the Senegalese, what they did to Morocco, those guys, they are physical, they can endure. But where France is going to have the upper hand is when it comes to tactics. Because I believe you cannot compare the Senegalese coach to the French national team.
Yeah, well, I think they'll have more options, and France has a more dynamic team, especially who's the guy from PSG that plays as in their midfielder, Falabi.
You mean
the one you mentioned before? Yeah.
Adrian Rabiot.
Rabiot is going to be a big difference. That guy's a dazzling player, man. Yeah.
Yeah. So this match is going to be like, to me, it's going to be like another finals in the World Cup. And again, with the pace and the strength of Mbappe, the Senegalese defenders, they've got lots of work to do on their hand because
those guys are strong too. Those Senegalese are strong.
Yes, even Mane. So this is a well-balanced team because Senegalese, if you give Mane a chance, Mane will mess you up. So I think the game is going to be a very high tactical game. And like you said, and Falabi said, the main game is going to be the battle of the midfield. Whoever that wins the midfield takes over the game. So it's going to be an interesting one.
Last year I had my French, my French scarf. I'm going to burn it. I haven't looked. I'm going to burn this thing on the day of the game. I'm going to burn this shit, man. Look.
I'm going to do like this. Since Nigeria is not qualified for the World Cup, I think I'm going to stick with Senegal.
I'm going, man. Those
Senegalese jersey.
Yeah, what is your prediction?
I'm going to stick with Senegal.
What's your prediction?
It's going to be 2-1 France because of the tactics and the tactician of the coach, but it's going to be a 2-1 victory for France.
And you know what I think? I don't think it's that the coach is more tactical, but I think France has more tactical. They have more tactical. Because they have a variety of players, they have more tactical options. You get my point? You see what I'm saying? They have more. You remember all these guys in Senegal, they play in France too, but I think when you're looking at the French team, you're looking at the top of the line when it comes to tactics, not just the coach, but because of the way people play. Like TchouamanI, he's flexible. He can play physical, but he's also dynamic. So the French team has a little bit more dynamic players. What do you think of Falabi? Yeah,
I agree with you. The French team has a little bit more dynamic players, but I don't rule out an upset here because you go back to history in France 98, the French team won the World Cup. They came to 2002. South Korea, Japan in 2000.
They lost to Senegal.
And the first game was against Senegal and they lost a job goal. And the scenario is very similar. If you look at the French team, they played the European Championships. I think they lost to Spain. And the last World Cup, they were runners-up to Argentina. So I think Senegal will enter that game with confidence and full of vibe.
And Mbappe is
as the African champion.
Mbappe and Dembele have attitude problems, both of them. And so there may be a problem with chemistry on that team.
Yes, so there'll be chemistry in that team. So I think Senegal, if they get their acts together, they could get a draw in this game, or perhaps you never know.
We'll see what happens. You know, this guy Mane is going to be hyped up. He's going to have
They could get a draw.
Mane will take cola now before the game.
It's a very tricky group because you have Erling Haaland's Norway there.
Oh, that's going to be crazy, man. Norway, yeah. All right, so this is a good one. So I guess we've launched. World Cup season has begun on our channel, Complete Football. So now we've begun our tracking of the World Cup, especially focusing on African teams. We'll be doing one show a week. So take us out, Afalabi. Or any last thoughts from Mr. Warif before we go? Yeah.
Well, since South Africa, sorry, I said South Africans. Senegal, since Senegal, they are the defending champion, I think that one's going to boost their morale. And France should be careful because these Senegalese guys, they are deadly. They can take you unaware if you give them that chance. So it's going to be a very interesting game.
I agree. All right, so take us out, guys. Follow me.
Yeah, like I agree with Warif totally. The guy that scored in the final was a midfielder, in spite of the fact that they have three very accomplished forwards. You never know what will come from Senegal. And from Mustafa, myself and Warifa will be back again with another pre-World Cup preview game.
Nice one. Games have begun.
Yeah.
Bye. I'll see you guys on Sunday for Manchester United.